have the guys from Funko. We want to talk to them for a little bit. Ben Butcher and Sean Wilkinson. Hi, guys. How are you?
We're doing great. Thanks.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Hi. You got Erik, Matt, and Giddles here.
Hey, what's up?
And thank you for calling in. We're big fans of pretty much everything Funko's putting out now, because I don't think you can go to anywhere, not even a toy store, but clothing store, Dwayne Reed.
Like I said, I was in Walgreens yesterday, and I saw exclusive Punisher and Venom, I believe it was.
Everywhere you
crazy.
go is being dominated by Funko, and I got to say, well done with your marketing there, sirs.
Yes, they do a great job there, don't they?
You do. Did you expect this particular division that Funko has called Pop Vinyl, which are these little figures with big black eyes, and they are pretty much representing everything you could possibly love in this world? Ghostbusters and Star Wars and Simpsons and Breaking Bad, all these different things. There's probably a Funko thing, or it's coming. Where did the idea for this little thing come from, and why is all these companies now being so receptive to? It's pretty much they're throwing their license at you now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, we've done 1,000 at least by now, just with all the customs and the repaints and the various licenses we have. It started actually, interesting enough, from our plush line. We developed a plush line using the sort of simple dot round eyes that kind of had that same feel, a little bit of a sort of square-shaped head. That was kind of developed among several of us, including one of our lead artists, Rob Schwartz. And we kind of, the DC people over at DC really enjoyed the line, loved the look of it.
I remember the Joker one.
Yes, so you've probably seen it, and they've got some similarity to Pop. In fact, we later called them Pop Plush as we developed the figures. So it was the idea that this was doing great. Let's try to do a vinyl figure out of the same look, and it sort of captures that kind of Asian sort of appeal, that cute, adorable appeal. And so it just kind of started taking off. I mean, it was a little bit slow out the door with the DC stuff, but it was Batman, so people were very interested in it and started collecting this. And then, next thing you know, we're kind of applying it to all sorts of licenses, and before you know it, it's kind of a worldwide craze. And it, in the world of action figures and things like that, it's really hard to come up with a new product that's different, that kind of takes the world by storm like this. So we're excited, surprised, but at the same time, they're adorable, right?
I was fortunate enough to get in on the ground floor before this trend really blew up, and wasn't even planned. It was that you guys put out a 4-pack of Simpsons characters, and I'm a huge Simpsons collector and Simpsons fan, so I'm like, oh great, some new Simpsons stuff. I bought that. And then as time went on, all of a sudden I started seeing all these other lines and blowing up. Now, if you look at eBay, those Simpsons, the 4-pack of those Simpsons are a few $100. I'm not selling those things. Those are staying in my basement. But I was just surprised, like, wow, I was in on this before everybody else was, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it's again, it kind of started slow, and then the more we sort of added interesting licenses to it, and the goal of it a little bit is to kind of make it a bit of an ironic type of thing, like for instance, Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or something, where you take something kind of scary, gory, adult-oriented, and turn into this cute, adorable, figure that kids, adults, grandmas, everyone from all walks of life seems to find one that appeals to them.
Let me ask you about not only getting all these licenses, but there seems to be every one of these licenses has variants and exclusives, and it seems a lot of other companies are just constantly fighting with you to develop new exclusives like Hot Topics. Loot Crate, Nerd Block put out exclusive ones for that. Like you said, Walgreens has exclusives, and so you get the license, and it's not like, okay, this is as good as we're going to get. People are now paying you on top of those licenses to make alternate versions of these things. Like, where do you see all this going? I mean, what more can you do with this line?
We keep asking ourselves that every day. But, the exclusive thing is an interesting, issue or thing that we deal with. But, it drives a lot of those customers. So if you have a Hot Topic or something, a lot of times they're looking for that thing to drive the collector in there that offers something different. So, we try to, make sure that the exclusives make sense and are from the world of whatever this property is. And then sometimes it may just be more of a kind of an artistic kind of, pop art kind of choice of colorways or, different finishes. But the exclusive thing has really, become quite a part of it where it's not necessarily just, here and there. It's like each line we're trying to think, okay, what can we do that would be really unique? And in some cases, maybe it's a character or a version of a character that may not be, make sense going out to all the mass market, but for those few fans, hey, go hunt for it, and see if you can find it. So it's kind of a, it goes both ways. We're coming up with exclusives that we want. Retailers are like, hey, can you do this? And a lot of them have their own favorites too. So it's funny. A lot of our customers are fans and collectors too. So it's a good problem to have, but it's definitely one that we're trying to, rein in to a certain degree.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about. I know we were talking about the pop, but you have so many different styles now. I mean, I remember when it was just pop and bobbleheads, right? But now you've got the reaction line, and I think at Toy Fair this year I saw the Dorbs and the vinyl sugar line. I mean, how did the progression from pop, which was really kind of like the platform, right, that you applied across everything, how did that progress to the Legacy line? By the way, some of the Legacy figures you have coming out are amazing. Like the Firefly ones, I'm a huge Firefly fan. I'm so excited for that line.
Pop opens the door. Pop really opened the door to a lot more opportunities than maybe just, the bobbleheads, might not have. So once Pop got going and people realized that we're willing to take chances on licenses that may not be the huge home run, but may offer something for that collector that, another company might not do, opportunities to do other stuff came up. And, we're all creative people here. We're all collectors. We want to keep coming up with cool stuff. We want to be, try action figures, try anything. We're always designing new stuff. A lot of things we're like, maybe that won't work. But we're always throwing ideas up on the wall, see what works. And I think that's led to, reactions, led to Legacy. And it's just also a chance for us to, find out what our boundaries are. Like, if we're excited about something, can we do a cool take on something? And Legacy, it's a smaller line. Obviously, it's a little bit different, challenge. It presents different challenges than Pop. So, we're trying to see what we can do with it. But, it's fun. But, basically it comes down to if we're fired up about it, we're going to try it. And that has to do with the plush we're doing, the Hikari. We're all fired up about stuff, and that's usually what gets us to do something else. And we don't want to rest on Pop. We don't want to just sit back and go, all right, we figured it out. It's like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep making cool stuff until we're exhausted.
Well, I think Legacy clearly is. I mean, all the response that I've seen to what you have out already and what's coming has been great. But I think the vinyl sugar stuff that's coming out too, right? Is that the vinyl sugar? Is that the proper name?
Yeah.
That's like the Ghostbusters and like was it the Ghostbusters Big Lebowski? I think, right? Seinfeld. I mean, there's some crazy licenses in there as well.
Yeah. And that was bringing in an artist that over from England that we loved the stuff, and it was part of kind of expanding even wider beyond our own sort of creative circle, which is a very talented group. But he just had this great look that we loved, that already had a nice following, and he was gung ho to see those get turned into vinyl action figures. So it was a natural fit. And it fit some of our licenses we already had. And that's what's so great about kind of carrying all the licenses we have, and some of the relationships we have with our licensors, that they're anxious to see what the next thing we're going to come up with that can sort of, reestablish their figures, reestablish their characters, bring a new excitement to things like Seinfeld, who hasn't been on for years. And so I think that's what we kind of do. We kind of delve into new ways to breathe new life into characters we love and characters that some people have forgotten about. I mean, we've just gotten through doing two Molly Ringwald pop toys, and I can't imagine Molly anywhere has thought there was somebody out there.
Yeah, I saw it's the 16 Candles line.
Yeah. And we're doing Breakfast Club too. So we really reach out to some really obscure stuff. And I think people love us for it. We don't always, not
Judd
everything
Hirsch will be
is selling
fierce.
a million, not everything can be Avengers, but it's great, and it's a thrill for all of us because we kind of get to kick off our bucket list of all our favorite things.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. When you say obscure, is there any chance you're going to go as obscure as Zardoz? Zardoz is awesome. Like a giant head that vomits guns.
Sci-fi film.
Yes, that
And
Zardoz.
then there's obscure. Like
That'd be a great reaction
Right?
figure.
That'd be amazing with his little like onesie and his. Oh yeah, it'd be great.
we will throw that in the mix. I mean, you'd be surprised.
That
the
means
list
no.
of-
Oh.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't mean no. Actually,
Yes, thank you. Erik was all pointing. He was so happy because he hates Zardoz for some reason.
you'd be surprised. I mean, honestly, the
killed my
list of
mom.
licenses, we have close to 200 licenses now, which is
That's
staggering. And then, but the list that we would love to do is probably 400 long, and we're always going back to it for, and all these other lines, you mentioned Dorbs, you mentioned the vinyl idols that are in vinyl sugar, like these give us opportunities where, hey, that license may really resonate there, but it hasn't resonated over here yet, and so that's another reason for some of these other lines. And but yeah, nothing's ever a no. Everything's always like, all right, maybe not yet, but I mean, we come back to some of the craziest things. I mean, we're pursuing Golden Girls right now. Like,
That's awesome.
I mean, and so nothing's off the table.
That will sell. But you do have some lines that I want to talk about real quick that are coming out. You got the license for Tomorrowland, which I think that line's going to be huge. And you also have X-Files. And you also announced Doctor Who, which is amazing because it's really hard to get that license away from, what is it, Underground Toys?
Underground Toys.
Yeah.
No, we were thrilled to get that one. That was some effort. We also just signed up Harry Potter, which was another
nice.
one.
Jesus.
That was
That's
that was next to impossible to get. We've been begging for it for 6 years now, and it's sort of the popularity and the widespread of the pop that they finally came to us. Just because
Take our money.
They see the value.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly it. So it is. We're slowly crossing off all our favorites, and who knows, Zardoz maybe next.
Yes. Woohoo! Or if not, I'll take Total Recall with the Quado. That would be awesome too.
All right.
There you go.
See?
That's on our list. Yeah, that's on our list. Total Recall's on our list.
Yes.
But is Quado on the list?
Yeah. No, definitely. And the
of
funny
course.
with the Doctor Who
He's
is,
the variant that glows in the dark.
There you go. Yeah. No, the Doctor Who we've definitely wanted to do, and Underground Toys is a great partner with us. They're our distributor in Europe. We work really closely with them, and we're always, they're out here, we're out there. We have a great partnership with them anyway. So we were happy when we finally could work a licensing deal that made sense for their business and ours, and that's really what it came down to. But it's going to be great for everyone.
I was really happy to hear that as well because they also, for the Doctor Who stuff, have an exclusive deal with Titans Vinyl for vinyl figures, and they do those sizes. For you to get that license as well is it's very exciting for me as a Doctor Who fan, and I'm sure a lot of other Doctor Who fans.
I want
there.
the Funko Weeping Angel. That's the one that I want.
Well, they're coming.
I know.
We got it in bobblehead and pop.
I can't wait. I saw it. I love
The
it.
Weeping Angel, and that's great. Again, the great advantage of the pop is when you kind of create your own look and your own little category. It's not necessary. I mean, of course, it's a figure like other figures, but it's not directly competing with somebody else. Like with the bobbleheads, it was a more common format, and so often it was harder to get certain licenses because there were other bobblehead companies out there. But we're the only ones who make pops, and yes, there are other companies out there sort of trying to create their own pop. But it allows us to have a category that slides us into other places without being competition to other companies and creating a whole category for us. So that kind of makes a big advantage for them.
I don't want to hear that. Go for blood.
So now that you have Doctor Who, and a little bit earlier in the show before you out on the phone, we actually mentioned that you have Orphan Black coming as well, which I'm also really excited
That's
about.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm a lover of that show. I worked on those personally.
Great show.
Great show, and the pieces look fantastic. Again, I have to have a Cosima. I mean, I want all of them, but if I
want a
could pick
Cosima.
one.
Oh yeah.
Do you even know what that is?
I do.
Okay, just making sure.
You don't know Orphan Black, Erik.
How
You
about
don't know what you're
Sherlock and Watson? Since you
They are
kind
coming.
Yes,
That's awesome.
We just signed that one.
nice.
Is there a Shaun of the Deadline?
Yes, there is.
There's a Shaun of the
Wow.
Deadline and the Vinyl Idols.
Fuck yeah.
They
In
look
all three, we're
amazing.
doing
This
it
is
in
like an
vinyl
Oprah
idol
giveaway.
pop
This is-
reaction.
And you get Watson, and you get Firefly.
Well, it's because we have it on the
That was
screen here,
horrible
and
on
like
my part.
the Magic the Gathering ones keep coming up. I'm like, oh, I just got back into that. It's just taunting me now to buy toys.
Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're a fan of anything, there's never been a better time to be a collector of anything you could possibly have an interest in, and Funko seems to be leading the way as far as what you may be into.
They're killing me this year, Funko.
He has a kid that's going to be neglected because of all the stuff you're putting out. I just want you to know that it's on your head.
I'm a huge I'm a huge Arrow fan, and I think you have Arrow stuff coming out in the reaction line and the pop line. I'm doomed. I'm doomed.
Yeah, I think our company motto is please ignore your kids and family and focus on our products.
Well, it's working.
I'm just glad I got to take samples home because I don't think I can afford
People are chanting, "Stop making things we want."
Please let us keep our money.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, well, thank you so much for taking the time to call us. I definitely want to check out the Tomorrowland figures when they come out. Obviously, also Doctor Who, as
Yeah,
we've
man.
said,
And the Zardos.
Firefly, and maybe a Zardos at some point. Ben Butcher and Sean Wilkinson from the creative team of Funko. They do Pop. They do Reaction and the Sugar line.
Dorbs and vinyl sugar.
There's just so much to delve into here. Go to the Funko website, and then Funko is also on Twitter.
Yep.
You can follow that account, and I think Instagram as well. They have it, so you can see all the updates of everything that's coming out there. Gentlemen, thank you so much for calling into the show, and I'm sure we'll talk to you around summertime when it's blockbuster movie time, and there's new Avengers and new all this other cool stuff coming around.
Definitely. Sounds
Anytime,
good.
guys.
Yeah, just let us know anytime.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Take care.
All right, talk to you guys later.
That is so awesome.
That was great.
I can't wait to see all of this stuff.
I hope they're hard at work on that Zardos thing right now.
I'm mad
Scribbling
excited
it.
about Sherlock, too.
In their
Sherlock's
notes
gonna be
tomorrow.
great.
Yeah, man.
And they're gonna hit rock bottom one point and go, remember that asshole that said Zardos?
Zardos?
Yeah, and then it saves the company, and then they, thanks to Giddles.
Zardos wins the
It's like the
day.
end of a movie.
It's gonna be awesome.